project to tackle? The right tools for chores and projects make life much easier. We'd love for you to start and finish that project with a brand new Bobcat compact tractor. Enter the Acreage Reboot contest today for a chance to win a Bobcat CT 2025 compact tractor with a quick attach front end loader valued at over $20,000. Tell us about the project you're dreaming to complete. Include a picture of the project area and let us know how much a Bobcat tractor would help you. Enter at agriculture.com/acreage reboot. No purchase necessary. Open to legal residents of the 48 United States and D.C. 21 years and older and the owner or immediate relative of an owner of at least 3 acres of property. Begins 12:01 a.m. February 1st, 2020. Ends 11:59 p.m. May 1st, 2020. Subject to official rules at agriculture.com/acreage reboot rules. Void in Alaska, Hawaii, and where appropriate.
Thanks for listening to us. We are Will Hyde and Wallen.
To the contest today at agriculture.com/acreage reboot.
Some trees outgrow their space and need to be moved to avoid tangling with things such as the side of the house and power lines. Extension agent Dennis Patton at Kansas State University says the best time to move a tree is when it's dormant in early spring before it starts to break bud. Very small trees with pencil-sized trunk diameters can be transplanted with bare roots. Larger trees need a proper-sized root ball. Patton says a good rule of thumb is to follow the nursery industry standard of a 1-inch to 10-inch ratio.
So in other words, if the trunk is an inch or so across or in diameter, maybe a foot or so off the ground, then you need about 10 inches of root ball, 10 inches wide and 10 inches deep. So that's kind of the best guide for people to follow.
When digging, be sure to use a sharp spade so you can make a clean cut of the roots. It's easier on the tree if you plan ahead and start the process with a spade several months before moving it.
So, for instance, this summer, go in around the tree and just sever the root ball. So, in other words, slice down into the soil where the root ball is going to be, then let it grow all summer long, and then move it this fall or next spring, because what you do at this point in time is help develop a little bit more fibrous root system. Where those roots were severed, they're going to branch out, so you have more roots up around the root ball. It's called root pruning.
If you don't want to do the work yourself, hire someone with a tree spade. This machine slices into the soil and digs out the tree with a cone-shaped root ball. When it's out of the ground, cover the root ball with a damp material like burlap to keep it moist until planting. Learn more about digging up and moving your trees at livingthecountrylife.com. I'll see you in the country.
Living the Country Life. Ideas and inspiration for your place in the country. You can find more information on today's topic, share your tips, and post photos by visiting us online at livingthecountrylife.com.
Being involved in a wreck is stressful enough, and now you have to wonder who can you trust to tow your car. No need to wonder any longer. Just call Lowe's Tows at 865-457-6927. Lowe's Tows, your recovering and towing professionals. They have 28 years experience, and they work with all insurance agencies and body shops. Lowe's Tows operates in Anderson County and surrounding counties, and in fact, if you need to have a vehicle towed to another state, they can handle that too. Need a battery boost, or did you lock your keys in your car and you need help unlocking the door? Lowe's Tows can do that too. They work with city, county, and state officials, and they pride themselves on their professionalism, something you will appreciate. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, Lowe's Tows, 614 Clinch Avenue in Clinton. Call them at 865-457-6927. They'll tow anything from a motorcycle to a semi. Check them out online, lowstows.com, and find them on Facebook at Lowe's Tows. They're here to take care of your towing needs. 865-457-6927.
Good morning and welcome to AM 1380 WYSH and Ask Your Neighbor. Ask Your Neighbor can also be heard and seen on our website, WYSHradio.com. And if you are in Anderson, Rome, or Morgan County and have Comcast cable, you can watch Ask Your Neighbor on BBB TV Channel 12. Ask Your Neighbor is the program where you call in and do just that. Ask Your Neighbor. Do you have a comment? Do you have a problem? Or do you have a question? Then call in and ask your neighbor. 865-457-1380 or toll free at 877-711-4005. And for those of you that might be listening or watching on the internet, you can email from our website, wishradio.com. Just click on the Contact Us button and email your questions. Now sit back and listen as listeners throughout East Tennessee and the entire world answer your questions on Ask Your Neighbor on BBB TV 12 and AM 1380 WYSH.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome into a Thursday edition of Ask Your Neighbor. Normally, David West stars the stories of the Cas Walker Show. Hey, look, I've got my safety gear this morning. Commissioner Tim Isbell was just here. Look at this. Look at these things he's making. This is cool. These are I put them all over my... Can you hear me still? The safety wear, it's an actual lightweight hard hat, and it's got the shield on it for healthcare workers or people that are actually still having to be out in this. Not just with this, but going forward. Anyway, he's manufacturing these. I know he's making a couple hundred for the county, just charging them for his material, the material. They're buying the material, he's putting them together, but pretty cool stuff. Again, I said this before, there's going to be a lot of ingenuity come out of these times. They've kept us locked up. Isn't that cool? Can you see that? It's got the hard hat, which is it's actual hard hat. It's very lightweight, translucent, come in all kinds of different colors. And then you've got the shield, the protective shield, because one of the things early on when this first started happening, one of the biggest concerns, and I guess still is, was if somebody sneezes or coughs on you and it gets on you, this protects you from that. So, cool beans. Hats off to Commissioner Isbell, Tim. Getting these for the EMS folks. That's cool. And then maybe maybe marketing them nationally going forward. I don't know. I would. Anyway, cool stuff. Phone lines available this morning, 865-457-1380. 877-711-4005. We just open the phone lines up and see what you guys have going on, what you'd like to share with us. Always enjoy that. Maybe you have a question to ask. That's, when we first started doing it, that was the deal. You call in, you ask your neighbor a question, your neighbors call in and answer it. So, with that said, I'll give you a moment or so to dial the phone if you have anything to talk about. 865-457-1380. One thing, too, I do know this. They, and I say they. I should be more specific than they. I need to get the specifics. Tim texted me this information. The county's going to buy these, and they are again, at cost for EMS workers. And like I said, I think a couple hundred to 500. I can't remember exactly what Tim told me. But what they want to do is they want to raise money to offset what it costs them. So if there are folks out there, Catherine, I'm on the radio. I wish the commissioners would actually listen. Anyway, if indeed you would like to donate, I'll get that information here in just a moment. I think Tim told me the hat costs $12. I can't remember exactly what the shield costs. And again, there's no charge for his time to put it together. But the county has agreed to buy their employees and they're going to try and raise the money that it costs to put these together for them. Good morning, WISH. This is Ask Your Neighbor. Hello.
Hello, how are you doing, sir?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Pretty good, thanks. I was just curious if those shields were anyway open or sold to the public in general for other businesses or just private use in general for different things.
I think Tim's going to do that. Right now, he's focused on getting these for the county. But I think going forward, yes, he's going to manufacture them and sell them. If you would like, I can give you his phone number that you can contact him and find out. I have no idea what I really don't even know what it's costing him to build them. I know that he's only charging his cost to the county, and he's doing this as a service to try and help the county. But I think going forward, that's exactly what he would like to do.
You could work out somewhere you could donate so much money and you'd get one for a donation, or something, maybe like buy 10 for the county, and then they give you one or something.
Well, that's right now. That's what they're trying to do. The county's agreed to go ahead and pay for the costs, but I think Commissioner Isbell and some of the others are going to try and raise money to pay it back. The county don't have that in their budget right now. His telephone number is 865
Yes, sir.
406 2455.
455.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I appreciate it. And then one other thing I was just going to, throw out there to you about these local farmers and also the national farmers, like down in, California. All this stuff's rotten and kind of can't get picked, and there's no one to buy it or whatever. It'd be so neat if there's some way people could volunteer to help do locally and nationally, and then somehow get the food to these hospitals, and then the farmers could maybe get some kind of voucher for, trying to not let it rot. Like, it just seems shame just because of lack of people. We can't get this stuff to the right sources of people that really need it too. And then our costs are going to go up like crazy for just blueberries here pretty soon. You wait and see.
Oh yeah, well it's the cost of the lockdown. You're not allowed to go do stuff. You know what I mean? Can't go do your job. But
what I was just thinking is, if you have things like that, Shields, these little guys that have these farm stands set up or whatever,
would help out a great deal.
Yeah, some kind of mask. Obviously everybody's trying to keep, tolerant and stay away from people and stay in, which is what we need to do until it really gets better. But anyhow, just for food for thought on all that, it's just a shame, and hope somebody can figure out some way to help the farmer and help the people get food.
Agreed.
Be awesome.
Thank you, sir.
Well, you have a great day, sir.
You do the same. Appreciate you listening.
Thank you, and appreciate your show.
Have a good day, sir. Bye-bye.
Yes, sir. Bye-bye.
Yeah, you guys, if you're interested in one of these, I know his first priority is getting these done, the ones out for the county, so they can have them. But, yeah, it's cool. It's lightweight, and it's an official hard hat. It serves whatever protections a hard hat has to, whatever they have to pass, it serves as that. But it's very lightweight. You got the mask, or the shield, if you will. He said that the problem was going to be if there was a big demand for them, getting this shield stuff. He said that he's got some, but it's not enough that if he were to mass produce them, and then it's hard to get that right now because a lot of folks are needing it for just the same reason that he is. Good morning. Welcome to Ask Your Neighbor.
Good morning.
Hello.
I'll tell you what I got on my mind this morning. I used to see this gal named Michelle Silver on television, on the news and stuff, and somebody said she went over to a radio station to work. And then somebody said that they found her deceased over there around McDonald Avenue and Middle Street in Knoxville.
No, she was on the radio this morning.
You're kidding?
No.
What about that? Ain't that funny how you can get people to tell you crazy stuff?
Yeah. That's pretty funny. No,
Well, I was wondering how come I didn't hear nothing about it on the news.
No, she's live and kicking.
I said, I'm going to call Ron and ask him because he'll know what happened there.
All is well as far as I know.
Oh, that's good. Well, I don't know nothing about nobody else, and now I know about that. I sure hope you have a good day, and prayers go out to all the people affected everywhere by this crazy plague we got. You have a good day, pal.
Thank you, man. Have a good day. 865-457-1380, 877-711-4005. If you'd like to join us, ask something, share something, we'll give you that opportunity. If you're finished, we're finished. So I'll be back, and I'll talk with you, or not, right after this. Okay. Or maybe I won't. Okay. That's very odd. Our computer system just shut itself down. Interesting. So I'll stay here for a moment. I guess. All right. Try restarting it. One more time, the telephone number. You guys know this. 865-457-1380. Take two. No, still not working. That is very, very interesting. All right, guys. Give me just a moment here. We'll get things moving. I guess we'll get things moving. I don't know. Certainly not working at the moment. Wow. That's not supposed to play. All right. I guess we're going to call it a day, whether we want to or not, because nothing is functioning as it's supposed to at this moment. Okay. You ever seen it do that?
No.
Me neither.
That was weird.
It is weird. I shut it down and turned it back on. It still didn't fix it.
That's hardly good. Oh, there you go. No. Oh. That is peculiar.
That is peculiar. All right, guys. Last call here. If you guys have anything to add, ask your neighbor. 865-457-1380 now. Or day's over and we're gone. Whichever you would like to do. But again, going to encourage you to call at this moment. All right, let me see here. Why am I not seeing that? Hello and welcome to Ask Your Neighbor this morning.
Hey, first I want to tell you how much I appreciate your service and everything.
Well, thank you, ma'am.
Well, you're more than welcome. I have one question, Ron. For old people that we don't have computers and cell phone, you're on our internet, and I know you keep up with this. I have a couple of people who have filed for unemployment, and I had a thing out of the paper from, I believe it was Alexander. Okay, they showed what the amount for the Tennessee was, and that I'm interested in asking for them about the $600.
That is going to come from the federal government. And
from the federal, okay.
Yeah, it's delivered to the state. This is what the president said.
Okay.
The president said he wanted those funds to be delivered directly from the federal government to the individual. But Congress, the way that Congress wrote the bill and passed it, the money is going to be delivered from the federal government to the state. And then the state will administer adding it to the regular benefits. But each state has a different system. And so the state will determine how long it takes them to get that money in, processed, and out to you. So there's not a set time frame that they have at this moment, because one of the things they said is some of the states' systems are like 45 years old and very antiquated. Right. I don't know where ours stands in that. So that's going to end up being a state question. I don't know if the states have received the federal money or not. I know as far as the personal stimulus payments they're making to us, to individuals, will start a week from yesterday. They say the first payments should be deposited in direct deposit accounts on the 15th.
Okay. And do they have are they doing alphabetical or any system or anything on that?
It was my understanding they're going to do it based on income. So they're going to start with the folks that are like $0 to $10,000, and then the next week, 10,000 to 20,000, next week 20,000 to 30,000, and work their way up, because the people that are making 150,000 are more likely able to withstand what's going on easier than somebody making 6,000. So it's my understanding they're going to start with direct deposit people.
Okay.
And they're going to try and get as many of those as they can, and they will then increment in $10,000 increments going forward. They say in some cases, some folks that are on the higher income level might not get a check until September, because as they go through that. But first direct deposit, and then paper checks, and they're going to do it in $10,000 increments.
Okay. Well, I really appreciate that. And I was really concerned about these two because, you know, they're kind of living payday to payday, you know.
Oh, no, I understand.
And, you know, I heard, you know, the unemployment rate just keeps growing and growing. So I'm hoping we're seeing some light at the tunnel. And I really do appreciate everything that you do with keeping people up to date and donating your time and talent and everything.
Well.
And you have a good day and take care of your family.
Thank you, ma'am. We're going to do our level best. Appreciate
it. Thank you.
Bye-bye. 865-457-1380, 877-711-4005. Anybody else this morning before we wrap things up and I try to figure out what's going on with our computers? We've had an odd time. Yesterday, we have a program. It's called the Radio Spider. That's what it's called. But it fetches broadcast material for us, and it was corrupted yesterday morning. Our engineer fixed that, and then we have another program that does the same thing. It fetches audio. It was corrupted yesterday afternoon. Then Pete Michaels' traffic at the end of his broadcast today, it got corrupted, and now this fun stuff with our computer. Fun times. All right, let's see what's happening. Good morning. Welcome to Ask Your Neighbor this morning.
Hey, Ron.
Hi.
I need an education this morning.
Okay.
I normally use the little recycle center behind the community center that Goodwill runs.
Okay.
And I've noticed the past couple weeks when I've gone, it's been closed. So I tried the new, I guess it's called Convenience Center up there on Norris Freeway.
Okay.
And I always recycle. So I pulled in there. And at the time I pulled in, there was nobody there, so I thought, okay, let me try to read these signs and figure out what's going on here. And then all of a sudden, the place just filled up, and everybody was, like, mad that I wasn't doing whatever it was I was supposed to do, even though I didn't know what it was. I need to find out, is that a recycle center, or is that just somewhere where you drop off your garbage? If it is a recycle center, because one of the guys told me, just throw everything in there together. And I was like, no, this is paper and this is cans. And everybody seemed to be like getting upset that I was holding up the line, so I just threw it all in. And then I felt guilty because I like to recycle, so I really don't have any idea what that place is for.
You know what? Offhand, I'm not sure if it's for recycling or not. I would say the Goodwill is not open because of this pandemic.
Right, that's what I was thinking.
I'm going to guess. But I can find out. We can find out for you, Jim, or I can find out about the new convenience center and if they offer recycling or if they don't.
Okay.
So stay tuned in.
Okay, I will. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much. Have a good day. Bye-bye. 865-457-1380, 877-711-4005.
Hey, hon, why are you pacing?
I'm not pacing.
Yes?
Okay. It started and it stopped.
City kitchens have made the painful decision can transport face.
All right. Back to the phones we go. Good morning. Welcome to Ask Your Neighbor this morning.
Hey.
Hey, good morning.
Hey, I believe I can maybe answer her question a little bit.
All right.
My wife takes this, Rodney. My wife takes her recycles up there. Now, before all this Corona started up, they did. But now, may just be having you throw it all in one, not to hassle with it right now, because I know out here in Oak Ridge, they won't accept any construction material anymore.
Okay.
So I think it just makes it simple. Throw it all in there and get out as quick as you can, is what they're doing by now. But that is a recycle place.
Thank you kindly, Rodney.
All right. Have a good one.
You too, buddy. Bye-bye. There you go. So it is a recycle place, but things are a little different right now. Times, they are changing. Good morning. Ask your neighbor.
Yes, I went to the dump out here on old 25 behind the hitching post, and there was a guy pulled in his pickup, and he took a cardboard box out, took the tape off of it, and took his knife, threw the tape away, and cut the cardboard up, folded it, put it in the dump. Then he continued to dump another box out and do the same thing. I mean, that machine crushes. I mean, and he was holding everybody up, and I left. I mean, I couldn't handle it. And I mean, I was there for at least 8 minutes.
8 whole minutes, okay.
I mean, you know, if he's going to do that, why don't he do it before he comes? And I don't know how long he was there after I left, but I'd say quite a while.
Cutting up his boxes.
Yeah. And I mean, you know, it's wild.
Is there not an attendant? Was there not an attendant there?
And a man standing there with a knife, and he's not looking at nobody, and he's just like he's lost in his own world. I don't know if he had some kind of mental problem or what, but that shouldn't happen. I mean,
Was there an employee there?
yes, but he walked off.
Well, that's who you should have asked about it.
I went over and spoke to him before he started doing all that stuff. You know, he had just one was open, and he had it blocked with his pickup. And there was an elderly lady, and she went and threw her garbage across what he was doing there and got it in, but it looked like it was such a strain for her to have to throw it that far and that hard. I felt sorry for her because when you're elderly, your muscles aren't that great.
Well, yeah, that would have been the responsibility of the employee on
He did
site.
not do his job. He walked off and went down to where the recycling stuff was and stuff. And I mean, he had to see what was going on. I'm sorry, but...
Okay.
That's dangerous. I mean, people have a temper anyway, and, you know, I don't know what's going on. Everything's kind of upset right now. But anyway, let's change the subject and go back to something good. The guy that was talking about gout the other day.
Okay.
I want to add to that because I've thrown the Motrin away and all the Advil and everything, and all I do is put a piece of tape very loose right under the big toenail, just on the toe, you know, a half inch to 3/4 or something. Just put a piece of tape nice and loose, not tight. And that massages that toe, because remember the guy said that he massaged his toe when it was in a lot of pain?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you'll put that tape on there, nice and loose, not tight, to cut off your circulation, just loose, it'll stop every bit of that pain. When you walk on it, as you walk on it, it massages and it takes care of all the pain, and you don't have to take the drugs and go through all that.
A piece of tape on your big toe.
Yeah, right below your toenail, just nice and loose.
Okay.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
I will.
Bye-bye. WISH, Ask Your Neighbor. Good morning.
Hi, Ron.
Hello.
I have Dish Network, and I've heard on there somewhere that the Grand Ole Opry is going to be on Circle TV this weekend. And I wonder if anybody out there knows what channel that comes on Dish Network. Circle TV.
The Opry commercial says it. Hang on just a second. I can pull up the the copy that they sent me and maybe tell you.
Okay.
All right. Stay tuned in. I'll do that, okay? Hang on just a second. All right. Thank you. Bye. Let's see here. I can go back. Let me see. I'm going to mark this. We got a lot happening here in the studio today. There's a lot of things. All right. Let's see here. I may still have it up over here on our document, our Word document. All right. I'll find that for you just a second. Good morning. Welcome to Ask Your Neighbor this morning. Hi. Howdy.
You know, it only takes one or two people to run stuff for everybody. You know that. Well, down here on Henderson Road, Claxton Bull Run Park.
Yeah.
They put tape around the picnic pavilion. They put a sign up where you go in there to the swimming area. Well, for 2 days, that beach has been full of people. Well, last night, they went in, or yesterday, they tore the tape off of the pavilion area and was in there having a picnic. Well, they were going to leave the boat ramp open and everything for the fishermen, okay?
Yeah.
Well, since they went in and tore those signs down, tore the tape down and everything, they're down there right now blocking it at the entrance with a chain and lock.
Good.
So you won't be able to get a boat in there no more. They said it was because people couldn't leave the picnic area and stuff alone.
People couldn't follow the rules.
Yep.
Well.
But they're blocking it off right now.
My goodness.
So if people plan on fishing Bull Run, they'll have to, I don't know, put a boat in down Sawway, I guess.
Yeah, probably. That'd probably be the closest place.
Yep.
Thank you, brother.
Hey, that's all I want.
Bye-bye. Let's see here. Opry Television Network. All right. On Circle. You know, I thought I had that where it gave the channels. Let's see here. Well, I thought that I had that. I'll dig around. We'll dig around and find it somewhere for you. Good morning. Welcome to Ask Your Neighbor this morning.
Okay, Ron. The convenience center up here at Green Valley truck stop used to be.
Okay.
They've got a separate machine up there for nothing but cardboard. It bales it up. And that's the only one I know of that's got one of those up here where I've had it, Brownsville. We've got a separate one for plastic and a separate one for newspapers. And then I've got the open top back here. If they've got a lot of cardboard, big cardboard, I let them put it in it.
Okay.
And as far as the one that mashes it up and they take it separate, the Green Valley's the only one I know of that has a separate one.
Okay. I appreciate that.
I thought I'd let you know.
All right. Thank you, sir. Let me see. I've got Circle on Dish. Let me see. Sling. Facebook, YouTube. He said DirecTV, though, didn't he? I don't see that they're on DirecTV. They're on Dish Network, if you've got Dish Network. And I'll tell you this, if you've got a regular antenna, just a regular antenna, they're on one of the HD channels. It might be WBIR's HD, but if you've just got a regular digital antenna, it's on one of the local networks' HD channels. the digital channels. And I can't remember which one, but I watched it Saturday night on one of those antennas. Good morning. Welcome to Ask Your Neighbor.
Good morning.
Hi.
It was announced last week that Anderson County School would start selling plants today, but a friend told me they had already closed it down and sold them all last week. Do you know what's happening?
Oh, yeah, there was a big controversy on it. The governor had issued that stay at home, and they had opened, a listener called. I don't know all the details, but a listener called and said, hey, they're selling plants down at the high school, and there was 100 people in that greenhouse, and he was worried about it. He was going to go, but he was afraid to go because he said there were too many people. Talked to Phil Warfield, and Phil said, no, there wasn't 100 people. He said it was busy, but it wasn't that busy, and that they were trying to do social distancing, and it caused a lot of calls coming in here at the radio station, people curious why the school system, when we were supposed to be staying at home, was encouraging people to come out and buy plants. So they ended up closing it, I think, the day after. I think they closed it last Saturday.
Well, thank you for the information.
You're welcome. Bye-bye. Good morning. Welcome to Ask Your Neighbor.
Good morning, Ron.
Hey, Pat. How are you?
I'm doing very well, sir, and hope you are, too.
So far, so good.
I told you about making that phone call and made a fool of myself about the boats, but my cousin called me last night, and he was talking about a gentleman that went up to Anderson County Park, was going to put his boat in up there, and they had it blocked off, and this so happened the guy had a small enough boat that he could disconnect it from his truck and was able to turn around and come out without having to back all the way out. But what I understand, some of the parks, city parks down in Kingston, you can't put your boats in. And I just wondered, up where your houseboat is, that's considered a state park, isn't it?
It's not a park. That's Sequoia. It's private.
Oh, you're at Sequoia. Okay, I was thinking you was at Norris Dam.
Nope, we're at Sequoia, and it's open. People were putting boats in last week.
Up there at Norris Dam, if maybe, without being in the state park up there, I just wondered if they've got theirs blocked off where people can't put boats in.
I'm not sure because they've said, fishing, stuff like that is permitted.
Yeah. Well, that's what surprised me about him saying that the Anderson County Park was, they had the gate locked and you can't even get to anywhere in the park up there now.
Well, the parks are closed. I know that we did that. They closed down all that stuff, but I had thought that because they said, fishing was acceptable as long as you're, don't have others in your boat, and if you're on the shoreline, as long as you're not with others, that was still okay, and there was no fine, as you knew that from the TWRA. But I would thought they would have left the boat ramps open. Otherwise, folks you'll have to go to one of the open marinas and put in.
Yeah, I would think so. That kind of surprised me. So, he told it the guy told him, like he said he had to, this so happened, he could pull out there and not have to back all the way up that little narrow road going into Anderson County Park. But if anybody knows anything more about these boats,
Norris Dam was open last weekend, according to one of our listeners that just texted me. They were up there, and they said the boat ramp at Norris Dam was open last weekend. So if it was open last weekend, it should probably still be open today. And so we were under the same regulation last weekend as we are today.
Okay, well, y'all have a good day.
Thank you, Pat.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Anybody with any other information, share, please. Good morning. Welcome to Ask Your Neighbor.
Good morning, Ron.
Hi, sir. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Hey, on the Circle television network.
Yes, sir.
The only way you can get that is antenna TV, and if you've got some kind of streaming Wi-Fi service.
Okay, it's on Dish Network. I've got the channel here on Dish. It's on Sling TV, if you got that, and then online too. And
well, yeah, I think it's 8.4.
That's it. Yes, channel 8.4. Yes, channel 8's a fourth digital channel. Yes.
And anybody out there that's listening that has an old antenna outside, you can still use the antenna. All you got to do is get you some coax cable and run it to your TV. You don't have to go out and buy one.
If it's not digital, you do. You have to have a digital.
I have a digital.
Yeah. So I got my
8.4, and like I said, it's on streaming services. I pulled it up. Look, it's on all streaming services.
Yes.
You can get it.
Yes, sir.
All right, Ron, I appreciate you so, brother. Have a good day.
Thank you, John.
God bless America.
You too. Bye-bye. Hey, there you go. It's 8.4. If you've got a digital antenna, you know, the sub-channels or the HD channels, digital channels of our CBS, ABC, NBC, Fox affiliates. And that it would be the CBS affiliate, and it's the fourth digital channel. So if you don't have a digital antenna, you can grab one, or digital tuner. Good morning. Welcome to Ask Your Neighbor.
Hey, yes, good morning. This is Taylor Butler at Fast Pace Health. How are you this morning?
Very good, Mr. Butler. How are you today?
We are doing well. Thank you so much.
You guys,
yes,
you know, you're in the healthcare business in the middle of all of this. How are you guys handling all of that?
Absolutely. Well, you know, it definitely is a swiftly moving time for us here at Fast Pace and all healthcare facilities. And so we are excited about a new service line that we have to continue to provide that patient care to the listening area. And so I've got Mr. Barry Taylor online. He's a nurse practitioner and leadership of operations team here at Fast Pace Health to chat more about that.
All right. Good morning, Mr. Taylor.
Morning, sir. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. How are you today?
I'm fabulous.
I guess you guys have been busy, to say the least, huh?
We have been busy. You're correct.
Tell us a little bit about, I mean, we all know fast-paced urgent care, walk-in. My family's, since you've opened in Clinton, my family's probably been there. I've got 3 boys, 13 years old and 2 9-year-old twins. And we've been there for flu. We've been there for strep. We've been there quite a few times. But tell folks a little bit about fast-paced, some of these things that you're doing, and are you guys able to treat and or test for this current virus that's going around?
Sure. Well, let's take your last question first.
All right.
We absolutely can see you for any concern about COVID symptoms. A lot of times we'll get folks that'll call up and just want to be tested. We've got some specific criteria for doing that, and it is guided by CDC recommendations. Now, having said that, if any of our listeners feel like that they have COVID symptoms, potentially have been exposed to somebody, you come to the clinic, and the way it's working right now in order to protect everyone, what we ask you to do is come to the clinic. There's a phone number on the front door, and you'll go back to your car. You'll call the clinic, and they will interview you to determine whether or not you are potentially a COVID patient. If you're not, then you'll go through the urgent care process as you normally would. Although some clinics are keeping everybody in the car as the quote-unquote waiting room, just simply because it keeps that social distancing going and protects everybody. Now, if you are somebody that has the symptoms for COVID-19, we bring you into the clinic. You only interact with the provider there, and they'll evaluate you, rule out things like pneumonia, flu, strep, that sort of thing. And if they feel like it's necessary, based on the CDC criteria, we certainly can test you for COVID-19.
Being a nurse, I'm sorry, go ahead. I was going to say, being a practitioner, have you guys experienced the benefits of this hydrochloroquine?
Hydrochloroquine.
Yes.
That's also known as Plaquenil, and we're not using that in the clinic. That's generally reserved, and it's a hydrochloroquine plus zinc sulfate being used in combination with one another, and that's being used on patients that are in the hospital as a general rule. We're not doing that.
Okay, so it's folks that are suffering the most from it that are experiencing the worst symptoms.
Right.
Okay.
Right. And bear in mind that that's not an FDA-approved thing, although I think everybody's just kind of, doing what they think is appropriate from a care standpoint. But let's talk about something else we're doing that I think you'll be really interested in, and that's our new telehealth program.
Yes.
What that does is it allows patients to be seen by a provider virtually. So if you have
a smartphone, if you have a tablet, we can see you no matter where you are. If you're at home and you're concerned about getting out in that clinic and potentially being exposed to people who have COVID-19 or for any other reason that you can't get to the clinic, all you have to do is go to fastpacehealth.com. You will select telehealth. You will select your state, which is Tennessee for you guys, and then you will do an online registration. At that point, you will be brought in. You will be sent a text message instructing you to download Zoom. It's a really easy app to use, and then you'll be directed to the provider's quote-unquote Zoom room.
Wow.
And there, you'll be able to see a provider. They can virtually examine you. Obviously, we can't listen to your lungs with a stethoscope and that sort of thing. But with that camera, we can look down your throat. We can look in your eyes. We can look at your skin. We can see a number of things. And we have the ability to treat you for cold and flu-like symptoms, allergies, rashes. If you've got pink eye, you think you might have a urinary tract infection, any number of things. We can see you virtually and send a prescription in to treat you without you ever having to come to the clinic. Now, what you say, well, what happens if I've got something that really needs to be seen, in person? Then the provider will examine you, evaluate you, and they may say, well, you know what? You got a little more going on than we can just handle simply on the virtual side. So we're going to direct you into one of our fast-paced clinics for care. So that's kind of how it works in a nutshell.
That's fantastic.
Great service.
They've just recently, I guess, freed up rules and regulations that you providers can do that, the telehealth and the insurance cooperate with you guys. But, man, that's fantastic. How many people would you, just on an estimate, feel that could benefit from the telehealth as opposed to having to come in?
Well, that's hard to put a number on that, but I do know that our Tennessee clinic is very, very busy, and we're seeing a whole lot of patients.
Yes.
It's hard to say what percentage of our patients would be telehealth eligible, but certainly anybody that, feels like that, they need to be seen for any number of things that we kind of just talked about.
Yeah.
And that's not an all-inclusive list.
Sure.
But they can get, and again, you can start with the telehealth, and if for whatever reason it doesn't appear to be an appropriate visit for telehealth, we can always direct you into the clinic. And two more things let me kind of throw out there for you. If people have medication refills that they need refilled, blood pressure medicine, things of that nature, and you say, well, I need a visit, but I can't get in because we're really all supposed to be staying home, give us a call. Go through telehealth. We can refill your medication. There's another thing, too, on the website. If you take a look, you'll notice it'll say telehealth. It also has a behavioral health service. We have the ability to take care of folks that have behavioral health needs absolutely through a telehealth system as well. So,
man, how convenient.
Sorry, go ahead.
I just said that how convenient that is.
Yeah.
And are the hours of the telehealth the same as the hours of the clinic itself?
Yes, sir. They sure are. We mirror the same hours that we have in the clinic.
All right, man. That's fantastic. How is the telehealth working out for you? Have you guys been doing it for a little while to kind of see how it's working and how people are adjusting to it?
Well, I will tell you that we were one of the first on the block doing telehealth. We rolled it out. I'm trying to think. I think this is the second week in Tennessee, and the response has been overwhelming. This is our third total week doing it. I think I'm correct on that. And the response has been tremendous.
I mean, what a great time to roll something like that out when a lot of folks are trying not to go into clinics or the doctor because they're worried of the other sick people there. So what a great service that you guys have rolled out. And I think it's going to be a huge success around here.
Absolutely. I think that while this might have been born out of need here, I think you're going to see that telehealth is really going to be one of the waves of the future. It'll never replace the need to come into the clinic for x-rays or for suture placement and that sort of thing, but it certainly will be very, very convenient for people to use going forward, even after this COVID-19 thing is over with. the convenience is incredible. And so you've got great providers, the same folks that have cared for you in the clinics, or the providers that will take care of you on the telehealth side.
So for folks that...
I'm sorry. I just wanted to mention, Jesper, really quickly, this is Caleb Butler, that, you can also get your medications refilled through the telehealth as well. So, if you are needing that, blood pressure medicine refills or whatever that looks like, that's absolutely an opportunity there. And also, we have our behavioral health services, which is also provided through telehealth as well. A lot of people are facing a lot of new predicaments or obstacles in their life, and if, you're needing that service as well, that is provided through our telehealth as well.
And that is fastpacehealth.com. Is that correct?
That's correct.
That's right.
Guys, man, I think it's fantastic. It's a brave new world out there, but I've said this many times on this program. Out of situations like this, a lot of ingenuity is born and a lot of new things come to pass simply because, like you said, Richard, out of need. Man, people, this is a great service. I know tons of people. Like I said, I'm the father of 3 boys, 9-year-old twins and a 13-year-old, and how convenient it is, or how inconvenient it is, when one of them's sick and we have to take them to the doctor, and with all guaranteed, the others will get sick from it. And then we end up back and forth to doctors or clinics numerous times, and to be able to do this, especially like on the second one, somebody comes in and they've got strep throat, and 3 days later their brother, has the same symptoms, to be able to dial it up on your tablet and go, hey, Jacob's got it now. Can you call in the same prescription for him? That's got to be a tremendous convenience for people. I know it will be for us.
Sure, and the other thing to keep in mind, too, is that most insurances will cover this.
Yes, that's fantastic. Anything else you'd like people to know about this new service? I know here in Clinton, you guys have just been open a few months, and I know you're covered up busy because there's cars in the parking lot all the time. But anything you'd like folks to know about just the service in general?
Well, just to know that we're here to provide easy access to care for everybody every day. Telehealth is just another example of that.
Yes.
Please don't hesitate to try the telehealth. And a lot of folks have said to us, gee, I'm not exactly tech savvy here, and we say, don't worry about that. We've got folks that will, if you need help walking through the registration process, if you need help downloading the Zoom application, any of those things you need, we've got somebody there that's available to help you do that. So don't let anything stand in your way. If you feel like you need the care and you need to be seen, then just go right online, click in, and we'll take care of you.
All right, Richard, Caleb, both of you, thank you very much for calling in today. Appreciate you also sponsoring and being one of our advertisers and sponsors on the station, supporting local business. We certainly do, and we're glad you guys do too. And if we can be of any other service to you, reach out. We'll be happy to do so.
Hey, thanks so much.
Thank you, guys. Have a great day. Stay safe.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Fast-paced urgent care right here on the Boulevard in Clinton. That's so cool that you can just use your tablet now. I'm telling you, that changed my wife's life. Good morning. Welcome to Ask Your Neighbor. That's you. I can hear you there. Are you going to talk? Okay. Maybe not. AM 1380, WISH-FM 101.1 and AM 960, WQLA. Good morning, everybody. It's 11:04. We are rolling through a Thursday. We'll come back and talk to you, or we'll come back and wrap things up here in just a moment.
FastPace Health. Easy access to care every day. Looking for care without leaving home? FastPace Health. Your local clinic is now offering telehealth services focused on treating new and existing patients for many common ailments, including cold and flu-like symptoms, seasonal allergies, stomach viruses, rashes, or skin conditions, UTIs, and more. Our fast-paced telehealth providers may also prescribe and or refill many common medications. So that's urgent care and refills. Available safely with fast-paced telehealth. Visit online at fastpacehealth.com.
Tune in to the Shylock's Bluegrass Picks every Saturday morning from 10 to 11 on WYSH 1380 and FM 101.1. Shylock's Bluegrass Picks has your perfect mix of bluegrass songs from way back to current. The good old sound of that banjo, down-home picking, country sounds coming through your radio for a perfect Tennessee Saturday morning. It's the Shylock's Bluegrass Picks on WYSH. Shylock's has cash for you.
When you're diagnosed with metastatic breast cancer,
a million questions flood your mind.
How can this be happening?
Am I going to be able to work?
What's a subtype?
What do I do now?
We know.
We went through it too.
But once you start to understand your options,
you can partner with your doctor
and find ways to face MBC on your own terms.
Visit findyourmbcvoice.com and learn how to speak up and have a more informed conversation with your doctor.
Some questions have answers.
Visit findyourmbcvoice.com to find some of yours.
Hey, good morning. Welcome to Ask Your Neighbor this morning on Wish.
Hey, Ron. How are you, buddy?
I'm fine. Thank you. How are you, Lee?
Doing well. Couple of quick points is all I'll make. Had read something really, and of course we know about the pink and hydrochloroquine, that I saw where Vanderbilt's doing they're one of the people they're allowing to do a test on that. I guess some kind of clinical. They've got 60 or 80 people there that have it over there in the Nashville area that they're doing that with. But I had read something as well, which I thought was maybe more like the absolutist game changer. It was in England. It was from the UK Telegraph. And what they're using, they had 10 severely, critically ill people with coronavirus. And what they're using is antibodies. You familiar with what I'm talking about?
Yes, somewhat. Yes, sir.
Basically, somebody that's gotten sick, that's gotten better, that has these antibodies that'll fight off the disease.
Yeah, they're taking them from them and trying to use those to make a vaccine, yeah.
And so these doctors in one of their major hospitals over there had given it to the 10 patients, and all had recovered within several days.
Yeah.
Antibodies. I guess probably the main thing is just getting enough of it to give to people, because you got to make sure people have plenty of antibodies, and I don't know how they do those tests. But I thought that was fascinating, fabulous. If we can get enough of that, kind of like when they did that with Ebola, and they've done that with other things. People that have fought it all have really a good resistance. They just take it as plasma or whatever, and they give it to other people. I guess that's how it works.
I wonder if they can test you for it after you've had it. I say that because I was talking to somebody yesterday that they are absolutely convinced that they had it. They were almost hospitalized. Just sickest as they've ever been. They tested them for strep, they tested them for flu, they tested them for pneumonia, they said it was an unknown, unrecognized virus. And they said this was back in November. So they said they weren't going to prescribe anything. And this person is absolutely convinced that that's what they had, a COVID-19.
Right.
So I wonder if somebody like that could be tested and have the antibodies that could contribute to making the vaccine.
Yeah, well, I even saw a guy over in Knoxville that had recovered, and he was like, I'm willing and ready whenever you want to take my plasma or whatever you want. I'm signing up. I think most people would certainly help their neighbor that way.
I just didn't know if it was possible to have somebody that was unrecorded as having it, that may have had it, that they could test.
That's what the new tests are trying to get out. We'll be able to tell if you've had it.
Oh, okay, cool.
If you can go back to work. Yeah, Fauci and Merck's, that's their big thing. That's what they want to find out who's had it.
Okay.
Once you do that, then those people are immune and they can, get back to work.
Yes.
If you look at California, I was reading something, because their numbers are just nothing.
They've come down.
40 million people, and they're like, I think, they're twice the size of New York, but they've only got like a 20th or a 15th of the fatality. They don't have, for their huge size, you would think they would be like ground zero, but they said that they think that maybe back in the fall it started traveling through California, and people just kind of, I guess they talk about herd immunity, where people are just kind of dealing with, they dealt with it, and then I guess that they're saying, they're doing studies. I saw where Stanford's doing a study.
Wow, okay.
Thinking that
probably what happened out there. I know they're also not as crammed up as somebody like New York. But anyway, there's some fascinating stuff. I'm sure our doctor people and our scientific people and researchers are working 24/7. So we've got that working for us.
Yeah. Well, we're going to figure this out. I guarantee it. I mean, we've got the smartest people in the world here.
I'm saying where I think Lee might. I'm sure he's debating hard on this 14th date.
Yeah.
I don't think, I keep reading people saying, we'll have to keep this up till August. I don't know if the country can survive until August. I really don't.
It won't.
We've got to.
I can tell you.
I don't think it's possible.
I can tell you with no uncertain terms, the government can't afford to carry businesses that long, and businesses can't afford to stay pseudo-closed that long.
Sure. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, I predict that the governor will lift the executive order, but use very strong language in saying, look, if you don't want to do this again, use your brain. And he will probably leave some of the parks and stuff closed, I would assume, I'm going to guess, so as not to encourage, they're going to do everything they can. But that's just my opinion, and that's just solely my opinion. But there's a lot of good news. There's good news coming out of everywhere but New York right now.
Right. And even they're flattening out. They think they're going to keep their peak and heading down, so that's positive. A couple of more things. I was reading stuff, I guess it's BLT or somewhere, maybe over in Nashville, at the Cookville Hospital, and this is something we had, I guess they had it all ready for this huge surge that we were going to have, and it's not really materialized. So they're laying off like 400 employees at the Cookville Hospital, and a lot of these small hospitals are just getting crushed. Right?
Oh, a lot of the doctor's offices. We've got a friend that is a nurse, and Beth reached out to her day before yesterday just to check on him. We hadn't heard, and being in the healthcare business, and she had her hours cut. And Beth was like, why? She goes, because people are afraid to come to the doctor unless they're knocking on death's door. So we've had to lay people off and cut hours because people aren't coming to the doctor. They're afraid to catch something.
Yeah, and I thought it was, and I might be wrong, I thought it had to do with they cut out all their elective stuff waiting for all these patients. You think about like mammograms and colonoscopies and things like that. I don't think they're doing that right now. So, I mean, a lot of that's how a lot of hospitals and medical people stay, they're not always dealing with the sick and dying. A lot of stuff is elective kind of stuff.
Yeah, the elective stuff has been, I don't know if it's been regulated or legislated to be put on hold, but I've heard numerous folks say elective surgeries not happening, a lot of stuff like that. I heard them talking about the healthcare industry in general has been financially slammed in so much as they make a lot of money on those procedures. That's part of their revenue stream. So they're getting hurt. I know they're talking about at the end of it trying to have some kind of I'm not going to say bailout, but have some kind of stimulus compensation for the healthcare industry. I don't know how much stimulus we can do in the country.
I agree. I mean, we're just printing money hand over fist.
Yeah, the dollar's strong, but it won't be long if we. And again, look, take my word for it. This company is we're suffering through it as best we can, and working with the banks in order. We're participating in the Payroll Protection Act, and we need that. But at the end of the day, it's not enough money to get us past about 4 weeks of operation. So at the end of that, if we get that in the next, it's going to be a while, but if we get it in the next 3 weeks, if we can stay alive for 3 weeks, that will mean 7 weeks from today, we'll be right back where we are. If the economy's not picked up and going, me and a lot of others just like me are going to be hurting. Knoxville broadcast stations are laying people off left and right now.
Yeah, I know and I know the newspapers are just getting slaughtered right now.
Absolutely.
They don't have any ad stuff coming in. So this is totally change of subject, but I know you're a news guy and Tim there as well. And it just got scant coverage, I guess, with all this going on. The 3 murders and the one attempted.
Yes.
In Knoxville.
At the pilot.
Right. The WBR got a hold of the notebook from the guy, the truck driver, and they said, and it's one of 2 things. He's absolutely nuts, and he's demon-possessed, or thinks the devil or somebody told him to do it. Or I know he was a Muslim, or it was like what we saw in Europe. And they're being real hush-hush. I've been trying to find out about it, because it would be good for us to know. I didn't know if you had any information, because it wasn't a robbery. Because, I mean, he was stabbing people and didn't leave and ended up getting shot. So it wasn't a robbery. And he's from North Carolina, so it wasn't a domestic thing where maybe a girlfriend or an ex-wife or something. So it was a rampage. You know, he stabbed them in the store. He stabbed them outside of the store. Do you know anything about it?
We have not. And like you, I was curious just because it has the ingredients of being a terroristic attack.
Where they just start stabbing anybody they can get close to.
Yeah.
What it sounded like.
I don't know, and they haven't released anything to indicate that there was any kind of...
Right. Well, anyway, I was going to throw that out. I won't take up all your time, but there is, there's certainly with this virus, I think that, we've done about as good, people really are following the guidelines. So
most are, yes.
Yeah, but anyway, I think there's so much positive news out there. You can't help but being positive right now.
Well, we're working.
Awesome. Thanks, buddy.
Thank you, man. Have a good day.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Hey, thanks for hanging on, and welcome to Ask Your Neighbor this morning.
Hey, Ron, I was picked up on the tail end of the boat ramp.
Yes, sir.
Conversation.
Uh-huh.
I don't know who the county park reports to, but I'll say this. I know you've heard of the unintended consequences of things taking place, and I'm sure those folks maybe have been directed to close it, but when you close a boat ramp like that, if you're careful putting a boat in, that's one of the safest things you could probably do to get out and be away from people.
Sure.
But what it does is it absolutely floods the other ramps. I went by the one up at Big Ridge after doing what the caller said and driving by just to see where Anderson County was closed, see if it was closed, which it was. Drove by Big Ridge, and they were lined up out onto Highway 61. That whole parking lot, people everywhere.
Yeah, I don't know what... if there was a call to close it, or if because they closed the state parks and the federal parks that just kind of followed suit. But I know that they did try to leave it open for an amount of time, but because the caller was talking about people taking down the blockades and congregating and having family reunion picnics and stuff like that, that's why, the caller said, it just takes one or two people to ruin it for everybody. So that forced them to say, all right, it's completely closed. You're not allowed in anymore. But they did try to leave it open.
I'm with you, man. I didn't hear that part of it. That makes sense. So I appreciate it, Ron. Thank you.
Have a good day, buddy. Yeah, that's what it was. It was open. They were going to try to leave it open. They intended to leave it open, let people put their boats in, but because people were taking advantage, and look, it's not, goodness gracious, I'm the first in line to tell you, I don't think the federal government has a place in my life telling me what to do. But in cases like this, where they have tried to encourage everybody, and for our own good, in every way, shape, form, and fashion, when you've got those few people that are just so hard-headed or just ignorant that jeopardize, when you have a virus like this, no matter how bad or good it is, how bad it's going to make you feel, but jeopardize congregating. I understand why you have to say, never mind, we're going to close it with the government. We'll turn it off. If you can't police yourself, if you can't adult yourself, we'll do it for you in this case. I don't think, I don't even like it in this case. I do see why we're doing it. I'm not fussing about it, but I understand why we have to do it. Good morning. Welcome to Ask Your Neighbor.
Morning, Ron.
Howdy. How are you?
I'm fine. I had heard a caller or two back. You was telling, I think you said someone had called in or you knowed about someone back in November having the unknown virus.
Well, my brother had it too, and that's exactly what the doctor wrote on his when he went back to work and he took his slip from the doctor back. That's what was on it. And then this person, in fact, this person and their sister both got it, and they both believe wholeheartedly that's what it was.
Okay, now I ended up sick in January. Ended up in UT Hospital, and they diagnosed me as the coronavirus, but they said it goes anywhere from the common cold all the way up to the deadly strain.
Yes.
And they told me I had it worse than the common cold, but I didn't have the deadly strain. But I ended up in ICU for 8 days.
Are you the lady that it shut down your kidneys?
Yes.
Yeah, we talked to you the other day. Yes, I remember that. I was telling these people about that yesterday. At first, they didn't know you had it, but while you were in there, they diagnosed you with it, right? On the 30th?
Right.
Yeah.
And we need to stay away from it. And now they're saying that where I am a survivor, that I could donate plasma and maybe help someone.
Yeah, that's what the caller before you was talking about, those antibodies. In your body now, you've got antibodies that can fight it. And so they're taking that plasma from people and using that, I guess, in an effort to create vaccines to prevent it, to inoculate people so they can fight it.
But I don't think with my kidneys being in the shape they're in, whether I'd be able to donate or not. Do you?
I do not know. I don't know I don't know what the prerequisites are or any of that. This is all very, very new. I would, if I were you and you were, seriously considering doing that, I'd just reach out to my doctor and let he or she, delegate what how much you can, if you can, or if you shouldn't. That's what I would do. But I don't know. With it ruined your kidneys, didn't it?
Yes, it did.
Yeah, so
it hit my body and attacked my kidneys, and they were working 2%.
Oh, wow. It's scary stuff, isn't it?
And I had never had a kidney problem at all. Wow. I was diabetic, but never nothing wrong with my kidney.
Wow. So is it like that from now on, or can it heal, or can it what? Or is
I'm going to be going on a kidney transplant list.
Wow. Good luck.
But I'm just thankful it hit my kidneys and not my heart.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Well, you're proof of how dangerous it can be, and like you said, it can be as simple as a cold, or as deadly as killing you. And part of the fear, I think, too, is the unknown. I've said this a lot. Pneumonia is probably more deadly than this. Flu is probably as deadly as this. But we've got treatments for that. So we get sick, we go into a caregiver, and they know what to give us. And they've got numerous things. If this doesn't work, they can do this. And because we know that, having the flu almost becomes an inconvenience. We know we're sick, but we also know, I got to go to the doctor, I feel terrible. The doctor gives you a Z-Pack or whatever they give you, and a couple of days you're starting to feel better. I think part of the panic and hysteria for those that have been in that
is the unknown.
Yes, they don't know how to treat it, and that flips people out. And I don't care what it is, if you catch something that they can't treat. I mean, luckily they've come up with a few things that they feel like are helping, but I think that's what has, that's the problem in all of this. They don't know.
I didn't know much about corona when they put me in the hospital, but I know that I have never, ever been as sick as I was.
Bless your heart. Well, I'm glad you're better, and if you...
7 of the 8 days, I don't remember anything.
Wow.
I have never been that sick.
Bless your heart. Well, I'm glad that you're out. I'm glad that you're better. I hate that it attacked your kidneys like it did, but that's a problem that can be fixed with a kidney transplant or dialysis. So you're still on the green side of the grass, huh?
But thank you, Ron.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. 865-457-1380. Yeah, it's the I don't know, the vulnerability that you feel, or that you fear, from having something that, we smartest medical minds in the world didn't know how to fix. I also think it has worried people greatly, because listen, I don't care what you say, for better or worse, this was created in a laboratory in China. Okay, we can debate that, whether it was or whether it wasn't. I believe that it was, but that's not the point. The point that they hid it from the world. And like I said, you can probably find any medical professional in town or anywhere, if you know one, and they'll tell you, oh, we dealt with that earlier. We didn't know it was that, but we dealt with that. This person came in with this. This person had every symptom, and that we tested everything we have to test, and that we didn't know what it was. So even the length of time that we know they misled us, when the World Health Organization was telling us that it wasn't transmittable human to human, and that it was irresponsible to shut down the border, when the Chinese were telling us it wasn't transmittable human to human, and that they had it completely under control. You remember all this? I think that if you catch it and all those things start rambling through your head, that creates uncertainty and fear, and it freaks people out, because you're sitting here knowing that one of the largest governments in the world, as far as China's concerned, for whatever reason, lied about it. And so, I mean, that by itself makes people afraid of it, because there's something that feels ominous when a government covers stuff like that up. It could have just been to quote-unquote save face, because a drug they were testing, or even creating, a virus they were creating in order to try and cure something else, got out of their, out of their lab or wherever they were working on it, or what have you. But that, even if you're one of the folks that think that it was, created in a bat by itself with no, with no human tampering, okay. But when they recognized it, it would have been really, really helpful had they told the rest of the world about it. And again, people would still be scared, because if they didn't know about it and it came from there and we don't know about it. That said, take all that and put it on one side, and on the other side, look at the progress we've made in the short amount of time that, they've put their nose to the grindstone here in the USA and got to work. And that's encouraging. There are things they can give you today that in most patients makes them feel better. And then they get better. So that's good, and they're working on stuff as we speak that when it's done, they'll fast track it. So, and just prepare. I don't think we're going to shut things down again. I think that they're getting their arms around how to deal with it, and by the time it comes back, and it will come back, it's a virus, and it's going to be here.
chicken pox are here too, but we don't catch them. Why? Because we learned how to treat it. We learned how to vaccinate against it, and we learned how to deal with it. So, but it's still here. We just know how to prevent it. And so they'll learn to do that over time. They'll figure out a way, whether it's with these antibodies or whatever. I don't know if it'll be by the fall. So we may have folks get sick again in the fall, and they may have to issue these warnings. I think we'll be at a point where they can look back at what's happened now and ascertain what we need to do in the fall. And most of us will be experienced enough to go, yep, you're right. Isn't that cool?
This thing is ridiculously cool. It's like Speed Racer becomes a riot police officer.
Yeah.
That thing is awesome. Tim Isbell, I think he's a genius. He may be a genius. I'm not going to rule it out.
Tim, everybody has their talents. Everybody has their gifts.
You told me that one thing where he can look at something.
If he can see it, or even if he can see it in his head, dream it, he can build it.
That's pretty cool.
And he's building USA Today.
Yeah.
Was at his shop yesterday.
Oh, wow.
Interviewing him because he's building ventilators that nobody's ever seen before.
Crazy.
Can service 5 people at the same time. And you can change the pressure, like if just one's on it, you don't want the same pressure as if 5's on it. People were like, holy cow. So, yeah, he had a national news organization out there, I think, and Commissioner Denenberg is out there. They're cutting material and sewing masks.
Did I hear Jason say that he was able to secure that material from the estate sale?
He did. He said he didn't say it in those words, but that's what I thought too. I thought the same thing. These shields, masks, hats.
I just want to display it back here.
I'm trying to get it.
Always be seen on camera.
So folks can see it. And he brought the material that they use for this is cool too. The material that's used for the shield.
And it doesn't fog up?
I think that one's thicker than this one.
It's way thicker.
Yeah. So he's got these, and then he's got that material. He said this is the problem in building them, is they're running short on this material. Probably because everybody's building them. Commissioner Isabel has these. He's building these specifically at cost, and he sent me this. I'd ask on the air, and he sent it to me, but let me get it. He sent his cost in these. I think he said, the hat's like $15, and the shield is like $10, something like that. But about $25 is where he's at with it.
I'll tell you what, I don't know what the retail or wholesale market is for those. It would be significantly higher than the $25 per helmet.
I believe he told me that just the average retail on them is about $125. So, of course, and he's not, this $25, that's not his time or anything else.
Right.
He said, also, each includes a chin strap. He didn't bring a chin strap with that one. $25 is what it costs.
We shouldn't have one.
He said, so if somebody makes a donation for $100, that they can safely make 4.
Yeah, no, that's cool.
So, like I said, USA Today came out and interviewed him yesterday about all this stuff. He's making those. He's making masks, gowns.
And they're accepting donations of either time, money, or supplies through the county commission office, 865-463-6866. Leave your information with Annette Pruitt, and that'll get passed along to the appropriate party.
Okay, what's the number one more time? Because I know folks are going to ask us.
865-463-6866. I did that without looking at anything. I've been doing this job now for almost 21 years.
Let's see here.
By the way, is that working again?
Yes.
Oh, not going to work.
Yeah, because it's glitched about 4 times. Let's see here. They need volunteers. I know that. If you would like to volunteer, you'd like to help, whether it's cutting some fabric or what have you, call Tim. I'll give you his number here in a moment if you're interested. I'm trying to see all the stuff that he was talking to me about, the material he's got to make gowns with.
And I just want to say, I have no reason to blow sunshine at Tim. He's a good guy. But this is really the pretty much definition of public servant.
Absolutely.
I mean, he's donating time out of his business,
Yeah.
Really doing something for the greater good. I think it's a great example for all of us to follow. And certainly, I just once again want to say hats off to Commissioner Isbell and everybody else that's helping. I know Ms. Dennenberg has also been involved in this from the jump.
Absolutely.
So just hats off to everybody, and hats off to everybody, because we've all managed to radically change our lives over the last 3 weeks.
Without killing each other.
Without killing each other. I mean, maybe it's because it's hard for me to get into the police station and the sheriff's department these days, but it seems like crime has really decreased over the last couple of weeks.
I think it has, because you're not having the domestic stuff where you've got, or not domestic, but where you're not congregating and fighting.
Exactly. Now, obviously, I don't know about the domestics. Obviously, I think that could be a concern. That's the biggest concern that people have, is that, sometimes people who are being abused are now trapped with their abuser.
Yeah.
And that's not good, but as far as, I guess, crimes against society, so far, so good. Nothing
so he's got 250 initially that are going to Nathan. They're trying to get approval for 250 more. This is all here in the county, and this is all at Tim's, at his cost. He's building them for free. He says that he's trying to move swiftly because day before yesterday, they had 40 sheets of that stuff, and then when he went to get it yesterday, they were down to 10.
Oh.
So it's going quickly. That's the stuff they make the shield out of.
Poly. Same thing.
He's got enough that he thinks he can get. He thinks he can get the whole 500 in if that's what they want.
I don't see the actual, the full word. But, oh no, it's polycarbonate sheeting, or polycarbonate sheet.
He's got enough cotton material, Manhattan first quality, to make at least 10,000 face masks.
You can't see me.
Catherine is helping to cut all the stuff up there. They've only had one person volunteer, but they've got one volunteer helping. That's a nice fan.
If you need a quarantine fan, it also works that way.
Let's see here. And thanks to the folks over at the jail, they washed all that material. Tim had all that material in his warehouse. They washed it. They're making gowns. They're making masks. They're making shields.
And I got to tell you, too, hats off to the trustees at the Anderson County Jail. Was it inmates that were doing that, or was that the jail staff?
Just said the jail.
Okay, well, on behalf of the public library here in Clinton, the trustees from the jail helped out a lot with the remodeling and the renovations that they recently did. And my wife couldn't stop raving about what, A, good guys they were, and B, what a great job they did. So,
who was that? I'm sorry.
The trustees at the Anderson County Jail.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
They came in and they did a great job. And every time I was down there, because, obviously I would go visit my wife on my way home from work, just a good group of guys. Obviously, they made a couple of mistakes and they ended up in jail, but they've clearly starting to get their act together. So, but again, I mean, they did a great job, and if it was them, certainly just more great work done by them. Of course, yesterday we talked about Mayor Frank said that the litter grant program has been suspended right now as far as the inmates picking up trash by the sides of the road. Clearly, as soon as the public health crisis is over, we will see those guys back out there taking care of that.
I've had a couple calls today about folks having unstable internet. It seems like that's been a problem for people.
My guess would be increased demand. That would be my guess. Obvious, and also it could be on where you are in your house. Like in my apartment, man, it is lightning fast in the living room, but you get back into my bedroom, which is not that far away, maybe 20, 30 feet. I'm a lousy judge of distance. But it takes forever, and sometimes just stops and then comes back and stops and comes back. But I think a lot of that has to do with just the amount of people, I think, that are using it from their homes.
Probably.
And really everything else. I mean, my wife's been working from home from the library for the last couple of days.
And Beth is teaching from home. She's having a problem with Zoom. So
that's not good.
Yeah. So there you go. So again, I tend to agree. It's probably just the sheer traffic.
I would think so. Plus, Xfinity did announce early on in this that they were going to make all of their various hotspots around town free to use. So I think that probably will have a lot to do with it as well. If you're a Comcast customer anyway, you might be running into the bandwidth used by those that are taking advantage of the opportunity to use some free internet.
I didn't know about that until a couple of months ago, and I was sitting at the orthodontist with the twins, with the boys, and I got an email, and it said, you can use, if you're Comcast Xfinity customer, you can use their hotspots. And you push here to see where they are, and I did, and it was just like, holy cow.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
Yeah, well, if anybody that has a router, yours, there's a separate side of it that can be used for a hotspot. So anyway, I downloaded the app. It's pretty cool because we were there, and I told James David, I said, you want to use your phone? He goes, I can't, Dad. Because he don't have data or anything. He doesn't have
exactly. It's not really a phone. It's more of a gaming device.
I was like, give me your phone. And I did the app and put it on there, and I was like, here you go. He was like, oh. So he could use it.
Hey, there's nothing happier than a kid with a new toy.
Yeah. We were waiting. The one goes in, sees the orthodontist, and the other goes in. That's what we were doing. Good morning. Ask your neighbor.
Hey, Ron.
Yes, sir.
On the news the other night about this, they had this guy in prison, and he said if they would let him out for a short time, he will make a cure for that. He's supposed to be some kind of scientist or something they got in there.
Haven't heard anything about that. Where'd you hear that at?
On the news, I was watching it, and they was leading him out there. He was a young-looking guy. If you can you find out something about that, see if it's true?
Was it here in the States?
I don't know.
Okay. I'll see if I can find out something about it. That's interesting. For sure. Okay. Has anybody heard anything about that? I have not. Hang on. Let me see if I can take a break. Fingers crossed.
Your new car needs to be dependable, affordable. It needs personality, like you. You need trustworthy salespeople. So, you're looking for the perfect car at the perfect price. No compromise. Fox Toyota has some of the most dependable cars on the road. Family-owned, fair deals, some of the best sales and satisfaction scores in the industry. In short, Fox Toyota is the best place to get a newer used car in East Tennessee. Expect it all. Get it all. Fox Toyota.
Fox Toyota in Clinton.
You never know when life is going to throw you a curveball. Say you're involved in a traffic accident and you need some legal advice. Maybe you're released from your job for no reason. Or you suspect it's because you're getting older. You might know of someone whose marriage is on the rocks. Divorce is soon. Bad things happen to good people all the time. And Saturday mornings from 11 until noon, T. Scott Jones will be taking your calls and giving you legal advice. That's 11 until noon Saturday mornings, right here on WQLA and WYSH.
Make 2020 the year you give your home a new look with flooring from Karen's Carpet. Come in today and have a look at luxury vinyl plank. It comes in several colors. It's very durable and scratch resistant. Karen's also has luxury tile starting at $2.99 a square foot. These products are easy to install, or you can let the expert installers at Karen's Carpet do it for you.
Come visit us at Karen's Carpet Sales, 1961 Clinton Highway.
Quarter mile past Claxton Elementary School, 865-945-3353. I've got Commissioner Denenberg on the phone with us here this morning. Good morning, Catherine. How are you?
I'm well, Ron. Thank you for asking, and I'm hoping that you and yours are well as well.
We are.
Anyway,
we are.
The reason I'm calling, I'm out here with Commissioner Isabel putting these shields together. One of the things that we're going to need that we have not been able to acquire yet are bags to put these in for the first responders to carry them in. And Tim had suggested yesterday that all these have reusable shopping bags that they charge like 25 cents for. If people wanted to purchase some of those for us, we would be much appreciative for their donation.
Fantastic. So right now, how many of those are you all going to produce? 250 for the EMS?
The first shipment that we have in of helmets is 250. We have another 250 on order that we're expecting in here by Monday.
And those are the ones that are just being done at cost for our county, correct?
That is correct. And quite frankly, there's one correction I'd like to make too. in sending in those donations, rather than sending and or calling the commission office, unfortunately, our deputy commissioner has cracked a rib and she's a little incapacitated right now.
Ouch, okay.
So, yeah. So if they would please mail them directly to the finance director, to his attention, Robbie Holbrook, at the courthouse, of course, 100 North Main, Clinton, 37716.
Okay. So send in any fat cash donations, and if anybody's out and around Aldi's and you want to buy some of those reusable bags, you guys can package the shields in those bags so that the first responders can carry them with them. Okay.
Right. We have to have some type of bag for these to go into, because obviously these are some utility that they're going to be able to use over, because they're so easily, as you saw with the sample that Tim brought to you, how well they're made, and they'll just be easily, cleaned and disinfected.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. What a great thing. Thank you guys for doing it.
Well, we got to take care of our people.
How do you guys need any more volunteers for cutting material? And I know that Tim's looking at masks, gowns, and these shields.
Well, we're going to have to cut the material for the gowns here, and quite frankly, we're still discussing the actual construction, because we have found that we can glue them together better than sewing them.
Cool.
Because this will be a permanent seal rather than, puncturing holes in with a needle.
Okay.
And this particular fabric takes very well to just using a hot glue gun.
Huh.
And these are reusable, washable, extremely high quality material that came from a very, very, very high-end source.
Wow. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, that's fantastic. And again, like I said, thanks for doing it. I know that first things that you guys are doing are taking care of the folks here in the county. So
absolutely. And then if we have extra, we're certainly willing to, share with our adjoining counties that may have needs as well.
Sure.
And I know that there are several groups that are making masks. Of course, we're asking that they use the pattern for the pockets so the medical people and or anyone who's using them can insert a filter, which helps enormously with the protection that everybody's needing right now.
Well, keep us abreast of what's going on, or any needs that you might have, so that we can tell the public and see if we can round you up some support, some donations, or volunteers, whatever you happen to need. And I appreciate your effort in it, and certainly appreciate Tim's.
If somebody wants to volunteer as far as helping with the sewing and or putting together things, they're certainly welcome to email me.
Okay.
Right now, that's about the best way to get in touch with me.
What's the email address, Catherine?
It's Kate, C-A-T-E, then a dot, my last name, Denenberg, D as in David, E-N, another E-N, D as in boy, E-R-G as in George, at Gmail.
Kate.Denenberg@gmail.com.
Correct.
All right. We'll send them your way.
All righty, well, thank you, and Jim and Kelly and everybody over there for their help. Certainly do appreciate it.
Thank you, Catherine. Have a good day.
You do the same. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
865-457-1380, 877-711-4005. Back in a flash. We'll come back, talk to you. We'll come back, wrap it up. You guys just let me know what you want to do, and we'll do it.
You have too much invested in your home to let water damage cause problems, and it can indeed cause problems. Mold, foundation failure, and structural damage. There's a company right here in East Tennessee that can take care of the problem, and they guarantee it. DryTech has the experience and knowledge to fix leaky basements and crawl spaces. Call DryTech today at 865-410-1077. 1077. Drytech never charges for estimates, and they're very cost-effective compared to the competition. Drytech's customers can tell you about the quality of the work. Billy says he and his wife, Christy, couldn't be happier with the results in their crawl space. Dennis says Drytech's workers were trustworthy and efficient. And Hunter says, good people, great work. If you have problems with water getting into your basement or crawl space, don't delay. Call Drytech today, 865-410-1077, or go online, thedrytech.com. Mention this ad, get $250 off. Remember, the estimates are free, the work is guaranteed. Drytech, the Knoxville area's premier basement waterproofing contractor, 865-410-1077. Drytech is a veteran-owned business.
You've got dirt, grime, and French fries from last season tucked under your front seat. From the rush of work and play, you've even collected enough dog hair in your vehicle to make a winter coat. Truth be told, your car's a mess, but the memories created will last a lifetime. Pure Magic Car Wash helps you bring back the magic in your vehicle and in your life. Stop by any of our 5 area locations today or check us out at PureMagicCarWash.com. Pure Magic Car Wash. Life happens in your car. Bring back the magic.
Cultivators of the cul-de-sac, run with us on the John Deere X370 Select Series lawn tractor, because yard work is about more than just mowing. It's about moments that last a lifetime, like when your daughter Emily has a shot at making wiffle ball history on her home turf. And that's why the X370 leaves nothing to chance, with one-touch mulch control technology and attachments for every season, so Emily can knock it out of the park. This is more than just grass. It's the stuff legends are made of. Nothing runs like a deer. Search John Deere X300 for more.
A fully funded advanced funeral plan is an important component of any estate planning. A fully funded advanced plan not only covers the expenses associated with your death, but also grows over time to offset the effects of inflation when you make those arrangements with Holly Gamble Funeral Home, serving Anderson County for 85 years. Find out more by calling 457-2323 in Clinton or 426-2121 in Lake City. Holly Gamble Funeral Home, since 1925.
Hey folks, Daryl Anderson with Ted Russell Nissan. Just want to let everybody know that we're taking every precaution to protect our customers. Hand sanitizer, we're separating the chairs for social distancing. Lysol wipes. We've used so much Clorox you can smell it from Kingston Pike. Buy 2 tires, get 2 free. Need an oil change? $39.95. Warranty work, parts. If you need a new Nissan, a used vehicle, or a certified pre-owned, we're here to take care of it. If you don't want to come in, you can definitely shop online at TedRussellNissan.com. We'll deliver your new car to you. Pick up the trade-in, no problem. And you know where we're at, Kingston Pike. And yes, we still have toilet paper in the bathroom.
Hi, this is Kim Haas with RE/MAX TriStar Realty. Buying a house is unlike any other purchase. Consider why it is to your advantage to work with a member of the Kim Haas team. We will guide you through your offer, financing, negotiations, and help simplify the contracts. Our goal is to get you to closing and to serve as your trusted real estate resource. Call the Kim Haas team with RE/MAX TriStar Realty, 865-457-9926 or 865-8849. 926.
Good morning and welcome to AM 1380 WYSA.
Are you turning 65? Are you confused by your Medicare options? Would you like to save money on your prescription drug copays? Are you receiving all the Medicare benefits you're entitled to? That's a lot of questions. You can get answers by calling your local specialist at Medicare Insurance Advisors. They make Medicare simple by offering many plans and no-cost reviews. Medicare Insurance Advisors, 865-691-5571 or online, MedicareKnoxville.com.
Thank you for listening to AM 1380 WYSH and Ask Your Neighbor. Make sure you tune in at 10 a.m. each day, Monday through Friday, right here on AM 1380 WYSH and BBB TV 12. Or listen live online at WYSHradio.com. And remember, if you have a question, comment, or problem, call in tomorrow and ask your neighbor. Or email from our website. It's Ask